Greetings, guys and gals, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Films and Pixels podcast, episode 3. I'm your host, Afif, and tonight's topics, it's jam-packed. There's a lot really to discuss. I'll be talking about Joss Whedon finally responding to abuse allegations from his time on the Justice League set, plus Ridley Scott on why he turned down a Disney film, Tesla announcing the delay of their Cybertruck vehicle. Well, I'm going to be reacting to the Moon Knight trailer, as well as reacting to Microsoft making a big acquisition in gaming once more, and also talking about rumors of Motorola's next flagship phone. All right. So anyway, first topic, Joss Whedon recently spoke to Vulture.com, and he finally responded to abuse allegations he's been accused of regarding, his behavior on set when he came to reshoot for the Justice League movie, specifically by actors Ray Fisher and Gal Gadot for the theatrical cut. I think it was just sometime after Zack Snyder had to step away for personal reasons. Out of respect, I don't want to get to. So it's been no secret from not just the two of them, but for many people, including crew members, didn't exactly have a good time, and it wasn't exactly fun. So now that he's finally broken his silence after nearly 5 years, for both of them have accused him for his gross, abusive, completely unacceptable behavior. Now, one of the many things is that Gadot claims that Whedon threatened to make her career miserable. Ouch. As well as, these accusations are not new. So an open letter was published not too long ago during that whole time frame, right? From his ex-wife, Kai Cole, calling him a hypocrite preaching feminist ideals. So there's that. In fact, that was actually published in August 2017. Now, also, what's also unfortunate is that both former DC Films co-presidents, Jeff Johns and John Bergs, were also accused of the same allegations mentioned earlier by Ray Fisher. And yes, racism was unfortunately one of them. Now, Whedon did say that regarding Gadot, when having communications with her regarding her character being too aggressive or scenes that should not have been there, he dared to say English is not her first language, and I tend to be annoyingly flowery in my speech. What does that even mean? Flowery in my speech. While also he's also been accused of threatening her by saying, I don't threaten people. Who does that? Okay, then. There was a scene she wanted to cut, and Whedon responded that if she wanted to get rid of it, she'd have to tie him to a railroad track and do it over his dead body. Wow. Talk about aggressive. Now, look, he is credited for his first two Avengers films, The Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron, so I understand how he's kind of the right person under difficult circumstances. And yes, I thought it's a bit strange how he was called out for not understanding how hero movies work. But, it's not the same as working on an Avengers film, whereas Justice League film, it's really totally different. It's a different vibe, different cast, different crew, universe, atmosphere, all that. All of a sudden, he pauses filming, and then in front of everyone, not just the cast, but even the crew, he goes, I have never worked with a ruder group of people. Wow. He literally called everyone rude just because they questioned him. Now, yes, the whole time frame, everything was kind of condensed. So there were 40 days of reshoots happening with a whole new vision and different style management. So the way he kind of operated didn't really give a good vibe. Zack Snyder did encourage ad-libs, which is like, if not lines used from the script, it's just kind of like, not made up, but like improvised. Whereas Whedon expected them to say the lines as written and not in their own ways. Now, Ray Fisher spoke to Whedon on a phone conversation, bothered by how his scenes and role was kind of like reduced. And if initially they happened as originally planned, they would have challenged some stereotypes of African American superheroes, right? So we didn't dare to tell him, it feels like I'm taking notes right now, and I don't like taking notes from anybody, not even Robert Downey Jr. Okay. Well, it doesn't hurt to listen to your cast members. I mean, after all, you are collaborating with them on a major motion picture that costs millions of dollars, millions of like maybe 700. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly how much it costed, but definitely so much goes into it. It's not like something that all the extra special effects and all that didn't go into it. And Whedon, by the way, even Whedon thought like, he even thought that Fisher was motivated by a malevolent force, a theory of Zack Snyder influencing Fisher to believe that Joss Whedon is a racist liar or something while trying to manufacture a controversy, which, by the way, Whedon really created himself. And even dared to call Fisher a bad actor and Cyborg's plot making no sense at all. Dude. Now, initially, Snyder did describe his character as the heart of the story. Whereas, like, to Whedon, it didn't make sense. So you can understand and see why, like, everything changed and really didn't vibe well. Warner Media had an internal investigation interviewing 80 witnesses who were part of the whole production shoot. And as a result, there was just remedial action, although Whedon was taken off the HBO series The Nevers. And now since then, there's been like a whole back and forth. And I don't have this tweet, but when it did come out and really he did make himself bad, it's actually funny. Ray Fisher said, oh, now he's in his own endgame now. It's on Twitter. It's kind of like funny how like even till this day, Ray Fisher is not letting it go. And, I don't entirely blame him. And like I mentioned in episode 2, the director's cut on HBO Max is definitely a better movie. And albeit not perfect, despite the 3.5, 4 hour runtime. But at least at the end of the day, the movie was filmed as it was intended, and therefore I can live with it. Other than being something I was just totally compromised and changed originally. So I liked the director's cut better, helping me forget about all that mess that I saw before. So, I mean, it's not going to go away. And not to diverge too much, but even cast and crew members, when Whedon worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, have come forward with abuse and sexual harassment allegations against him. So, unfortunately, I mean, really, from his own doing, he hasn't made himself a good public figure, and that's really his fault more than anything.